Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, we are back with another video. And if you guys had watched my random get ready with me video when we were in New York, then you'd have seen where I said I would speak more about finances. Rewind. Back in the day, I used to talk about finances here on my channel, and I took a step back from it, archived all the videos and stuff, because I feel like I needed to niche down because of the whole algorithm and all of them. So I used to talk about finances here on my channel. As much as I don't have everything figured out, I think I have a lot of tips and tricks that I would love to share with you guys as to how to receive financial independence, and also to become basically debt free and be better with your money. I told you guys that I would give you guys a story. Some of you would have heard this story like maybe many times. Some of you would have heard this story for the first time because you're just joining me for the first time, or you've never watched any of my previous videos back in the day. So back in 2017, we had traveled to New York. While staying with some family, they shared something with us that really inspired us to start our journey of becoming debt free and just being overall better with our money. We are a couple, so we're working together as one unit, because when you're married you become one, and so there's no separate entity thing like that. So we work together to bring financial freedom, to put ourselves in a better position. We do it together. So in 2017 we made a decision, hey, when we come back home, we're going to clean up our lifestyle. We're going eat peas and beans and rice and deprive ourselves of certain things, because we wanted to live like no one else now, so we can live like no one else later. So we basically found, around that same time, we found Dave Ramsey. Now Dave Ramsey is what would I say, a financial guru. He talks about money, he talks about being debt free, he talks about like how you can become a millionaire on your 9-to-5 salary, or just overall. It's all about wealth. It's also tied into Christianity. So you live like no one else now, so you can live and give like no one else later. And so we started following his teachings. We followed so he had baby steps. So baby step 1, 2, 3 to about 10, I believe. Baby step 1 is you save $1,000 US, whatever the equivalent is here in Jamaica. And then now 2, you pay off your debt from lowest to largest. 3, you save, I guess, 3 to 6 months expenses after you pay off your debt. Just like a security to make sure, say, yo, God forbid something happen to you in the next 3 to 6 months, you'll be able to live or get back on your feet, or just survive basically until you get back on your feet, and so on and so forth. So there's a clause for everything, for children, for mortgage, and so on. And so his belief is that, and also our belief, which we have gained that belief as well, that the only debt that we consider okay is a mortgage, and that is also not for a long-term perspective, it's for a short term. So it's okay to get a mortgage to whatever. And so we followed those steps, and back in, I want to say 2019 or 2018 or so, I don't remember, might have been 2019, I completely became debt free. At one point I had like a credit card, and during the steps of following like the steps of becoming debt free, one of the things was to cut up my credit card. So I had one credit card, and I cut that credit card in two, and like it took everything out of me if I literally cut that credit card in two. But that credit card like was racked up to a good amount of money, and the only way that we were gonna throw all our savings and stuff at that credit card, only way is if I cut up that credit card. So I had to like get the cut. I was thinking for the whole entire time, I was saying like, yo, then God, if me cut up this credit card, yeah, like any little emergency, I don't have no money, I don't have no backup. Like I'm legit gonna put all of my savings, everything on that credit card and clear it off. And I guess the Lord said, yeah, go ahead and do that. We cut up the credit card, we did that, we paid it off, we cleared that off. I had one more loan that I had used at that time. I had bought my first car, and I was legit. At that time I was working like a 9 to 5 job, and like I think it was like at the time it was like 25 grand that was coming out of my salary every single month. And at that time my salary wasn't big or anything, you know, I could have survived over the salary, but like 25 grand out of my salary at that time all at once was really rough. We started throwing everything that we can on that debt, because the goal is to target one at a time. So we deal with from the lowest to the highest. Let me tell you, we were so motivated, like so motivated to ensure it. And I remember when I posted that video on my channel here, they said that, yo guys, I paid off the last of that loan, the last of it, and I was literally so emotional, the fact that, yo, this was it. Like, this is the only thing I had left in my name that I owed for, was that loan. And it felt incredible to know that I did it, or we did it. We cleared it off, and we know we put ourselves in another situation, a better position, and so on and so forth. So after that we moved to something else, So after that we made a decision that, hey, if we're gonna buy a car, it's gonna be cash. Anything that we're gonna do is gonna be cash, right? It took a lot of willpower, because there were times when we wanted to go to a hotel. There was a time when we wanted to travel that we couldn't travel because, yo, we have to see if we can get ourselves in check. And I'm telling you that the pressure was on, because it was very stressful, like knowing that you have to deprive yourself in a certain way. We didn't completely like tighten down, but we decided that, yo, listen, we are gonna do the best that we can. We are gonna just forego some of the big things, because we're thinking about the long term, seeing putting ourselves in a better position for the long term. And one thing I can tell you guys is, and I hope this can motivate you guys, if you're in a situation where you feel stressed and you feel like, yo, I can't breathe, just look at your debt. I always say, I don't have a credit card, and it always probably sound like, oh, I'm bragging that I don't have a credit card. No, I'm not bragging. No, this is not a brag statement when I talk about, oh, I don't have a credit card. It's really to say that, yo, if you are like me, I don't know what I am now, if I have self-control like that when it comes down to credit card, because I haven't had one in so long. But if you know you don't have any self-control at all, and you have a credit card and you literally cannot live without it, like you cannot use it, and if you find yourself that at the end of each month you still have a running bill on that credit card, then a credit card is not for you, and you probably should cut it up and trust God that, yo, everything is gonna be okay. No emergency now come up where you're gonna need that credit card. But here in Jamaica, as opposed to overseas, like we don't have like a bill credit thing here in Jamaica. Like, at least we don't, it's not a credit score. It's not like a big deal here in Jamaica where, oh, you have a credit card. Yes, you pay a debt or whatever, but there's no emphasis on, oh, you need to build a credit score by making sure that you do this or you do that. It's not like a big thing here in Jamaica. So I can understand if you live in another country and the whole credit score thing is whatever, you need to do that. But still have like a plan for your money. So I always encourage a budget, because you need to, every single dollar that you have, every single dollar that you make must have a name attached to it. So if you have light bill, water bill, phone bill, groceries, car insurance, something must attach to it. Savings, every single money must have a name attached to it. But it just don't make no sense like saving this whack of money when you're like flooded in debt. At least that's how I see it. So I would clear my debt first, and then after I clear my debt, when I have all of that money, because nothing feels greater than knowing that you have your money. Like, you're basically not putting that money into something else. You can actually save it in a sinking fund or something, or plan a trip, or you know, whatever it is. Like you can buy a car eventually that doesn't require you taking a loan from the bank, right? And so those things are so important. And even to this day, I'm inconsistent with my budget, but I still keep doing it because I want it to become a part of me. Because repetition, it breeds like discipline. And so a lot of people feel like, oh, I can't get rich or I can't be wealthy by my 9 to 5. You actually can. And that kind of brings me to I'm gonna do a video talking about, you know, some little hustles and stuff that you guys probably can make extra money from, that I know that you guys would really appreciate that video. But I really want to encourage you guys to look at your finances, look at your money. See, don't just vibes it. Don't just like, okay, me just I go with the flow. Oh, man, I have enough money. Oh, me just I get this amount of money to pay and I'm not able to save. If you're able to budget and save even $20 from your salary over a period of time, that $20 accumulate in an amazing way. For example, let's give an example. If you have an insurance and you activate like that saving thing on your insurance, partly like you legit at times forget that you have that saving going on, and you forget it, and the next thing you know, in a year you check it, you probably have $40,000, you know. But that's what I mean when I said, like, if you budget your money, you have a good amount of savings, and you can actually like decide that if you're gonna invest, like you pay off your debt in a stress anymore if you make a payment, and you get to have all that money that you'd have paid to your debt. You can now decide what you get to do with it. You can decide, okay, if I can send my child to prep school, if I can do this or I can do that. But debt really weighs you down, and I know that because I've experienced it, where debt really weighs you down. It puts pressure on your mental. It makes you feel stressed. It makes you feel overwhelmed. It gives you anxiety, like knowing that you can't breathe. You know what I mean? And if you know that you can't afford a vehicle, you want a vehicle, you can't afford $1 million vehicle, do not buy $1 million vehicle. You can find a used vehicle in a very great quality. Bring one reputable mechanic with you on your way to buy a vehicle or something like that, and make him walk through the vehicle with you. If I $700,000 for this car, if I $500,000, if this is what you can afford, work with that. Don't make comparison put you in a position where you feel like, okay, so my friends have $1 million car, all the people on the internet have $1 million car, I need to have one, but your finances cannot afford it. Instead of looking at other people and their lives and thinking that if you properly budget your money, if you put yourself in a position, maybe 2 years down the line you can also drive $1 million vehicle. But it's okay if in this moment they cannot afford $1 million vehicle. Zine, buy one cheaper vehicle. Make sure it have a good value, because even in Jamaica, like, car whole price. So you buy a car for $700,000 in 2017, 2020 you're good, you can get $700,000 for it, or $750,000. I'm telling you. So think about your finances, Zine. Create a plan, create a budget, name all your give every single dollar that you budget and name, right? Pay off your debt, Zine. Limit it, bring it down to as far as you can, and pay off your debt. And for those of you who anyway, I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say, yo, if you know that you have student loan, if you know that you have a student loan, you take out a student loan and you're not paying your student loan, I am just know that I'm judging you, okay? If you have an income and you're not paying back your debt, just know that I'm judging you, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys just a few tips. Let me know in the comment section if you guys would want to hear more or talk more, or hear me talk more about finances and how better you can, you know, make your life a lot better and a lot easier. Let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one.